What's the funniest revenge on a teacher? Mrs. Peterson was our English teacher who believed semicolons were sacred and insisted on 5-paragraph essays. She was brilliant yet inflexible about creative expression. Her phrase, "That's not how proper writing works," came with a disapproving sniff and quick adjustment of her glasses. The breaking point came during Shakespeare unit. I'd written what I considered a thoughtful analysis of Hamlet's psychological state, linking it to modern grief theories. When I got my paper back, a large C met me with comments unnecessarily verbose and straying from standard format. I approached her desk after class, paper in hand. "Mrs. Peterson, I put a lot of thought into this interpretation." She barely looked up from organizing her sticky notes. "Mrs. Rivera, your essay wandered through personal opinions instead of following proper structure. Literature analysis is about discipline and adherence to formats." That night, while rereading my essay, I noticed Mrs. Peterson's syllabus stated our final project could be in any approved format demonstrating material understanding. A mischievous idea took hold. I texted my friend Zach, equally frustrated with her grading. By morning, we had recruited 5 others for our plan. For our final project on Romeo and Juliet, we took Mrs. Peterson at her word. On presentation day, we were ready. "For our analysis of Romeo and Juliet," I began, "we've prepared a perfect presentation." Mrs. Peterson nodded approvingly as we distributed our handouts, each precisely 5 paragraphs with exactly 5 sentences per paragraph. Zach started reading in a monotone voice. "Romeo and Juliet is a play by William Shakespeare. It contains 5 acts. The main characters are Romeo and Juliet. They fall in love. They die at the end." The class started giggling as Emma continued with the second paragraph. "Romeo belongs to the Montague family. Juliet belongs to the Capulet family. The families are engaged in a feud. This creates conflict in the play. Conflict is an important literary element." Mrs. Peterson's smile froze as she realized what was happening. Each paragraph followed her exact formula: topic sentence, 3 supporting sentences, concluding sentence, but contained only the most obvious surface-level observations, stated in the simplest possible language. When Marcus reached the 4th paragraph, "The balcony scene occurs in Act 2. Romeo stands below, Juliet stands above. They speak to each other. This demonstrates their separation." Mrs. Peterson's face had turned an alarming shade of red. By the time we reached our conclusion, which summarized our 3 main points about Romeo being a boy, Juliet being a girl, and death being sad, half the class was struggling to contain their laughter. Mrs. Peterson sat stiffly at her desk, her knuckles white around her favorite red pen. When we finished with a perfectly formatted concluding sentence about Shakespeare being a good writer who wrote good plays with good characters, there was a moment of silence before she spoke. "I see what you're doing," she said quietly. The following Monday, Mrs. Peterson entered class looking different. Her usual rigid posture seemed relaxed, and she wasn't carrying her infamous rubric clipboard. "I've been reflecting on our recent presentations," she began, "and I realize I may have been overly prescriptive about writing formats." She distributed a new assignment sheet. "For your final essays, I want you to focus on developing your unique analytical voice. Structure should serve your ideas, not the other way around." I couldn't believe it had worked. As we left class, she called me back. "Ms. Rivera," she said with a small smile, "that was quite the demonstration of understanding the difference between following rules and actual communication. Well played." The next essay I wrote received an A, with a comment I never thought I'd see from Mrs. Peterson. "Beautifully structured to suit your unique analysis. Your creative approach brings fresh insight to the text.